Hello folks, I'm back with another one. Sorry, it is on the phone and it is in the car in this one. But I know I haven't uploaded again in quite some time now, and I know that really it's not good enough really when I want to obviously build the channel and help as many people as I can. Yeah, I hope you're well. I hope you and your family are doing good. I just obviously wanted to make sure when I do put something out, I want it to be of value and worthwhile for people to watch. So in this one, I've been thinking a lot about it as I usually do when it comes to topics for talking talking about, and having been for a little break on a little mini holiday, sort of really cheap getaway lately. I went for a few days with my family, and I've noticed something that I did so often, and although I have touched on it in other videos very, very briefly, I think it's something that really is something that many could relate to who have suffered in gambling addiction in this way. And that is time. Time spent gambling. Time spent doing whatever addiction it is that's become a problem for you. But in this video, and for my experience, I'm going to talk about time spent gambling. And I think there's all sorts of different ways of looking at it. Spending a normal amount of time gambling, but it's the amounts that you're gambling in terms of monetary value. Gambling with funds that you can't afford, but the time you spend gambling is creeping up because you're chasing losses? Or is it just overall the amount of time you put into gambling, whether that's physically stood at a machine, which I've seen a lot at the seaside arcades this week, with people just stood for hours, literally gambling for hours. Is it time spent on your phone, on your mobile, laptop, your PC, whatever your online device is that you choose to gamble on? Is it that you're perhaps going to the toilet with men? Men take a little bit longer than ladies on average at the toilet. Are you taking your phone in with you? Are you sat there gambling for an hour? Obviously, like, I'm trying not to sort of label anyone who spends a good amount of time gambling as a problem gambler, but I think we all know when other signs of gambling addiction set in, that time spent gambling is one of the big ones, one of the big signs that stand out. And so, when you are in the midst of a gambling addiction and when it has really started to take hold of you, I want people who are suffering from gambling addiction or any addiction, but as I say, for the purposes of this video and my experience, I want people to look at it if you're struggling now, and look. And I'm not saying it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 to stop, because boy, I know it isn't. I really know it isn't as easy as that. But I'd like people, if you are struggling and you can relate to what I'm saying, in the amount of time you've spent gambling recently, or over a period of time where you just maybe, like I said, locking yourself away from the family, away from birthday parties, away from friends, rejecting the chance to go out with friends, and sort of spending that time gambling in a bookmaker's, gambling in a casino, gambling online. When you're doing those sorts of things, the time spent gambling is accumulating, for want of a term, if you like. And that, to me, having stopped now, I can see how much I missed out on when I was doing the exact same things. When I missed out on precious moments with family members who are no longer here, who I miss dearly, who I would do anything just to spend a few more days and hours with them. Elderly, young, it doesn't matter who your family members are, whether you get on or not. One day, it might come that you miss them, and that might be because they are no longer here. And I'm not saying you have to spend every moment possible with family and friends and never have any you time. That's not what I'm saying. I think you time is actually very important, particularly in recovery. But when you are spending that time gambling, when you are choosing to gamble for long periods of time instead of going out with friends, going out with family, going to birthday parties, weddings even, these sorts of events, these special moments, seeing a newborn family member, even just spending some good quality time with your your partner or your children especially, playing in the garden, watching a movie with the wife or the husband. These sorts of things you sort of take for granted that they will be there forever. But for me, I missed out on so much time with family, so much time with friends, so much time with my wife, what we could have had really good times, money wise as well. The money that I gambled away could have paid for an holiday. It could have paid for other things that we enjoy, even even a little meal out as a treat, buy us some flowers. But I chose to gamble that money away, but that's the money side of it. The time spent doing it, I didn't watch movies, I didn't want to go here, I didn't want to go there, because that interrupted with my plans to gamble. So I think, like I said, the purpose of what I'm trying to get at really is, if you are struggling or you have struggled, it'd be interesting to actually know. If you have managed to stop, are you seeing a difference that you are now enjoying those things, you are going to these places, you are spending time with the people who mean most to you, instead of gambling consuming your every thought, because it's not just the time spent physically gambling, it's the mental time spent on how am I going to get money, how am I going to sort the next payday loan, the next loan, the next criminal activity in some cases, whatever it is, the way you fund your gambling. Maybe that's even something as innocent as doing more overtime at work to make up for the shortfall in money that you've lost gambling. That's still time away from family, that's still time away from friends. So yeah, I think I really just want people who are struggling, and if you can relate to what I'm talking about, many times I've spent choosing to gamble, locked away in the bedroom, locked away in the toilet, just even pretending that I'm, got bellyache whilst I'm just gambling my head off on the toilet. It's pathetic, really. But that time could be spent enjoying a nice film, doing something with the family, kids. Please, I'd like you to look at that if you are struggling, and maybe, I know it's not, like I said earlier, not as easy as 1, 2, 3 to stop. There's things you need to do, and there's many videos of mine, helping that, hopefully. But I think I just would like to ask you, if you are struggling, just to look at it, look at the actual time you've spent gambling, because I think when we talk about gambling addiction, it is sometimes quite easy to think, well, I can afford to gamble and I can't afford to gamble, but I'm chasing, I need to get that money back, and look at the money side of it, when actually we're missing vital moments with family and friends and people we care about most. And who knows, those particular members of the family, those friends, they may need us as well. They may be going through a tough time. They may want to see us, but we've made plans for gambling. And, addiction is addiction. We can't help it in some cases. You know, it does consume you, it does take over you, and it's incredibly hard to stop. But it's another reason, if you are spending too much time gambling, if you're missing out on those moments, to maybe now start to look at putting things in place to start to break the cycle, to start to sort of put barriers in place against gambling, and, you know, look at really how you can stop. Not just my channel, there's many others out there. Only Phil's a great channel. There's a variety of channels in YouTube that have got some great tips. There's obviously Gamblers Anonymous. There's gambling helplines. The links are in the description. And I hope this sort of, if it does ring true with you, if you can relate, almost gives you a little nudge to, you know, another nudge to maybe think about stopping gambling, or at least taking a break and getting it back under control if you you know, can do that. But yeah, I'll leave it there, folks. I think I've got across what I wanted to get across. Probably not very well, but it is something I've seen a lot this week, and it got me thinking about the time, you know, I've done it. I've literally witnessed people stood on a arcade machine gambling away for hours and hours and hours, whilst the family are in the other room having a great time watching a show, and you just think you're missing out. But it's everybody's choice, it's everybody's life, everybody's addiction, and we all know it consumes you, and it's not easy. But hopefully this, you know, sort of helps and sort of gives you a different perspective on how addiction can affect you, and hopefully gives you a nudge, like I say, to maybe put things in place to either stop or take a break. But I will leave it there, folks. I am rambling again. I will obviously do my best to upload more videos more frequently. Life gets in the way. You know, I'm not here to make excuses. Everybody's got their own issues, own problems. I do want to put more out, I really do, but sometimes it's just life happens, and I'll just do my best. So I won't promise when. I'm not trying to make out I'm some YouTube king. I'm far from that everyone's desperate for a video from me. But at the same time, I set out to help as many people as I can, and if I'm not uploading videos, I'm not doing that. So I will try to get more videos out more frequently. Thank you for listening, folks. If you can relate, leave us a message in the comments. Feel free to PM me. The link is in the description. If you can relate and this video has been of value, or you've enjoyed listening to this, leave me a like on the video. It will help spread the video into people who really could probably benefit from it. And obviously, if you'd be so kind as well, if you don't mind subscribing, that would be much appreciated. And thank you to all my subscribers so far. It is building really well, and I'm really appreciative of everyone who does tune into my videos and does subscribe and leave positive comments, because that's obviously a little nod that I'm doing something right. So yeah, I really am rambling now, I know. I will leave it there, folks. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.